Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a Psalm 119 morning. Hey guys, let's go to verse 158. I see the treacherous and am disgusted. They do not keep your word. Guys, even, we see that there's nothing new under the sun. Even back then, the psalmist, David is struggling with the fact because they do not keep your word, God, there's all this calamity, there's destruction, right? We're dealing with the same things. But beg, I beg you to do inventory. Are you a part of the problem or the solution? Do you keep your word, which is the solution? Keep your word about God's word, or you're part of the problem because you don't keep his word either. Therefore, when we're not keeping God's word, then what? We give in to our desires, which then what? Mature into lusts, which then mature into sin, which leads to death. The very things that our society, people are dying. And I was just like, I know what's going on in the world. We have a young man in our church who was just really, he's a debater. And because of the recent death of Charlie Kirk, he was just like, it left him in his room for hours, deliberating that it's real. What you stand for and debate can cause someone to take your life. Because not everybody's going to agree with not everybody in this world, nobody agrees with everything that I say, even on here. I'm sure I've offended someone. I've come from a point of view that's just not your point of view. But will you be a keeper of God's word? Will you be the difference? No matter what. Because guys, if we're not standing and keeping God's word, there's going to be calamity. History has proven it over and over and over. Only God's word can save. Only God's word washes and leads to righteousness and peace and joy, fullness of joy, not these temporary fulfillments for a moment that lead to death. Guys, God's word is true. It's historical facts that can be that are supported by things and places in history. That document is nothing to play with. It has withstood the test of time over and over and over again. Where will you stand? Do you even have God's word in you? If not, guys, we can become a part of the solution today. Every day that he grants us in grace, be a keeper of your own word. There's someone, and when we're getting God's word, guess what? We'll be a keeper of our word. I'm talking to those who've been called by God. You've got a calling on your life to do what he's called you to do. And because you're not a keeper of your word, guess what? God's word is not reaching those it was supposed to. And we have destruction. We have confrontation. We have battles and fights and just sin that leads to death. That which leads to death. So yes, which side are you going to be a part of the solution? You got to get in your word first, all right? So that then keep your word. Because people who in God's word know God was a keeper of his word, even to the point where he died on the cross so that we might live. That's that freedom I want everyone to enjoy. Therefore, like God is a keeper of the word, I want to be a keeper of his word and then keep the word that he's given me. When I give a word that there'll be integrity in my life, that it'll lead people back to God's truth. Take that and run with it. Take that and run with it. Guys, be a part of the solution. Life is getting harder and harder. Woo! Life is getting harder and harder. But we got an answer. And God's word never fails. It never wavers. If you just need a community to come around you because times are hard, but you want to keep your word because you know it's a reflection of God's word, go to the website, www.joykmassenberg.com. Me and the associates, we're just here to support you so that you'll stand and fulfill what God has called you to do. I'm Joy K. Massenberg, your morning motivator, serving you a hot cup of inspiration so you can be productive and a joy to someone else on this side of heaven or the other. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.